I want to show you guys a strategy that I used time and time again while I was scaling up my Amazon merch account through the lower tiers. It's going to involve basically trying to be where the highest demand is. And in the scope of this video, we're going to go to predictable demand because, well, the tools that we have today in 2025 were not available when I first got into Amazon merch back in 2017. And I consider that I was scaling up my account through those, really grinding through those lower tiers all the way through about, 2019, 2020, around there. So this strategy is one that I know works because I used it literally for years. So let's get to it. We're about a week away from entering a new month. Somehow we're already through the first quarter of 2025. Where does the time go? Anyways, the strategy I want to share with you is I want to be where the most demand is. This is probably not right for tier 10 accounts, maybe tier 25. That means you could only upload 10 designs or 25 designs respectively. This is probably for tier 100 through maybe tier like 2000 or 4000 even, where I want to look at the predictable demand and get out ahead of it, okay? And just as a reminder, because back then I didn't have access to the trend detecting tools that we have today. Speaking of trends, I'm jumping into Google Trends here, and I'm just gonna compare for my own knowledge, because Google Trends gives us real data, a couple different trends for April to see what my priority should be. So I will start with Easter shirt, okay? I wanna see the search interest for Easter shirt, and I'm gonna expand the time frame to the last 5 years. Then I'm gonna compare, and how about we do autism awareness shirt, okay? And we'll compare those two. Okay, so you can see now how autism awareness shirt compares to Easter shirt, right? It pales in comparison. Doesn't mean you shouldn't be in both niches, but just so you know, like where the money's being made, Easter shirts are definitely making significantly more money. We could even type in like 420 shirt, maybe. We know April 20th. Okay, we've got that. Military Kids Day is another big one. The problem is if I don't put the word shirt, it's okay. Well, even with that. So really Easter is where we're going to soak up, and maybe Earth Day shirt as the 5th. Okay. This is not a requirement, guys, but if your upload slots are limited, you do want to make informed decisions. Obviously, Easter should be our top priority, so I'm going to remove this. And now we're going to be able to see, now autism awareness shirts are blue, okay? And we can even go just to the last year to get this data. Okay, so it looks like Earth Day shirt is about twice as popular as autism awareness shirt and 420 shirt. And Military Kids Day, even though it does sell pretty well, we know it sells. It's one of those that gets overlooked too, so probably lower competition. That is the least popular according to Google Trends. Now for the research portion. Again, we're trying to set ourselves up for future success. If you're in tier 10, you really just want to be in whatever the biggest trend of today is, okay? But the scope of this video is a strategy that I used to get multiple tier ups. So I'm going to go to my research tool of choice currently, and that is Merch Dominator. Merch Dominator didn't exist back when I got into Amazon merch. Fortunately, it does today. I'm gonna click MBA and KDP, then I'm gonna click Best Sellers. What this does is it goes through its entire database and just shows the current best sellers by BSR. But I wanna refine the scope of what I'm selling to where I know the most demand is gonna be in just a few weeks. Actually, I didn't do a good job of showing you on Google Trends, but with the Easter shirt trend, we're at about 45–50% of the total projectable search volume based on the past 5 years. Now, before I search for Easter, I'm going to go up here to the advanced filters, and then I'm going to make sure that all of these brand names are added. You may need to click add all. Okay, I was up here prepping for the video, so it looks like it already added them all. But that way it'll filter out things like Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, etc. All those brands that we can't sell. Then I'm going to go ahead and type in Easter and hit search. Now, what you see behind me, you could probably guess, are all the Easter shirts in the Merch Dominator database sorted by BSR. So the prioritization is done for us. We use Google Trends to figure out what April niche to prioritize entering first with our designs and our uploads. And then we use Merch Dominator to do something Amazon will not do for us, which is literally show us the best sellers in order so we know where to start. Now, I will say from personal experience, you don't want to upload anything that says the word peeps because it's like a big candy thing in America. So I wouldn't design with them or upload a shirt that says peeps. That's just my personal recommendation. Also, always, check your trademarks, make sure everything you upload is safe. Don't trust me because I'm a talking head on YouTube, right? I love saying that, but you got to keep your account health as a top priority. So I would skip the peeps, but pretty much everything else I think is safe for Easter. So the next one is just like a neon retro watercolor bunny. It looks super cool. It's pink, wearing sunglasses, and obviously with AI, we can do stuff like that without being a good graphic designer. So by the way, I should zoom back out, guys. My strategy is I think of it as, in my brain, I call it tagging. I want to tag every one of these Easter sub niches within reason. Like, I'm not going to do peeps because it's not worth the risk. The watercolor bunny in the past, back when I was scaling my account up, I didn't have the AI tools. I didn't know about them. I don't think they were available, right? I'm pretty sure they weren't, at least not to the public. So I would have just skipped that one because I didn't really like to hire designers and stuff like that. But the next one is a prime example of what I would have targeted, one that I would have loved to target. This one that says Chicks Dig Me. And it's got, it's not a peeps, right? It's a chicks. It's a little chick, a little baby chicken. It's leaning on an Easter egg. It says Chicks Dig Me. So I would go to a few of my websites that I would say, kind of in my bag that I'm comfortable working with, and either purchase these graphics or try to get them for free. Of course, there are public domain websites out there as well as websites where you can pay. Today, I'd probably go check Creative Fabrica, honestly, because I pay the $4 a month, and hey, I'm all about using it. You know what I mean? I'm sure I could find a chick leaning on an Easter egg there. The next one is just an Easter bunny wearing a hoodie, okay? Here's the thing, by the way. That bunny doesn't really have Easter elements in it. It doesn't have Easter colors. I'm talking about this one in the number 4 spot, guys. I might even skip that one. I know it's kind of going against what I said I would do for this video, but I don't know. I want to keep it real with you as well. If I'm trying to sell Easter shirts, I want either the Easter colors or Easter elements in them. If it has no text in it as well, it's going to be harder to sell. If you have text in your design, I find that a lot easier in terms of doing the SEO, which is, I want to say it's half the battle. It might be more than half the battle, but like seriously, good SEO on Amazon or simple SEO, if you know how to do it the right way, can make a world of difference. The number 5 one is more on the religious front. It says, He is risen, Matthew 28:6. And the religious aspect of Easter should not be overlooked. Plenty of t-shirts are going to be selling for both the consumerist side with the Easter bunny and the eggs and the candy, and then of course the religious side as well. And if you can tie the two together, I'm sure you can make some really nice designs. So I want to tag that one. You know what I mean? It's a cross. It's got text. I know how to do the SEO there. The design portion won't be that hard. I'm all about that. I love that. If I'm being honest too, guys, the way I used to do it is I would keep a list. Okay, I would go to Notepad on my computer. I would write it all down. I mean, I wouldn't actually write it. I would type it out, but you guys know what I mean. Okay, I would type it out, and then I would revisit it later. I like to make my list first. Really, it's up to you though, okay? The next one says Happy Easter, and it has a monster truck. So if you just make a shirt that says Happy Easter, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble getting Amazon to show that, because you're probably gonna upload one of like 20,000 shirts that say Happy Easter. But if you have Happy Easter monster truck, all of a sudden you're guiding the algorithm to refine who it shows your product to. Because when you upload a new product listing and you don't have that first sale, you can't expect the algorithm to just be constantly showing your listing when it really doesn't know what it is you're selling. It's trusting that you did a good job with your SEO, but it really understands that you did do a good job both in a high quality product and with good SEO when you start making sales. So the monster truck aspect, I love. That's going to help you with your SEO and not get lost in the crowd, Next, He is risen, Matthew 28:6. So we're already seeing some repetition there. I love that. That's going to kind of move that up the board in terms of priority, because Merch Dominator is ranking these by BSR. That's the best seller rank. That's how well these products are selling relative to each other in the clothing category on Amazon. But also, because we're using Merch Dominator, it's filtering out the non-merch products, which also helps us with keeping our account safe, for instance, even though it's not perfect because the peep stuff, I can't guarantee that gets rejected, but I just wouldn't risk it. Also, I didn't mention Merch Dominator. It's linked in the description if you guys want to check it out and use it for yourself. I would recommend it. Also, the trend spotting aspect of it is honestly the best part of it. We're not even touching on that today because I'm going back in time for this video, right? The next one says, I can't ... but I know a guy. And it's got the cross there. Very basic, very simple design. Obviously check, that none of this stuff is trademarked, and obviously don't copy this stuff either. Make it your own. It's just a million ways to go about making these designs, guys. Just take inspiration. The best advice I could give is think about why somebody who buys this specific design is buying it, right? They're leaning into the religious aspect. So I would even make that cross bigger. You know what I mean? And like but I know a guy part, I might even make like that bigger in terms of like the relative size of the text on the design. I'm always thinking of why somebody buys the shirt, and I want to like cater to that when I'm laying out the different design elements. I really want to lean into it. Next one is a game controller with Easter bunny ears and some eggs there as well. And it's got a nice little distressed effect applied. And it's got the Easter colors, basically checking every box that this design up here in the number 4 spot with the bunny and the hoodie is not checking for me, that it's in, grayscale basically, with no Easter eggs or anything. Whereas this gaming controller, which normally a gaming controller's got nothing to do with Easter, has got the Easter colors, the eggs, the ears. What's not to love, guys? I mean, we all know that's an Easter shirt at a glance, doesn't need text or anything like that. And then of course for the SEO, you say Easter gaming, right? Shirt for Easter gamers, etc., something along those lines. Do your research, right? Look at the long tail keywords when you go into Amazon search bar as just one example. Next is just a bunny with it's kind of the messy hair girl, but the bunny equivalent with the glasses and the bun. Next one is a bunny, Easter bunny gaming with the, what is it called? Like the 8-bit glasses, pixel glasses. I used to have a pair of those. Next one, where did you guys go? What? My butt hurts. And it's all these chocolate Easter bunnies with bites taken out of them. That's funny. Okay, you want to speed it up now, guys? How about egg hunt supervisor? Okay, so I'm like writing that down. I'm going to come back to that, right? Obviously, that's for the parents, so you would want to market that as a Easter shirt for parents, right? Easter egg hunt would also be in there. A lot can happen in 3 days. He is risen. Remember the Riz trend last year? Well, he is risen with Jesus, right? Kind of cross-niching there. Those are going to be popular. Next one says, guess who's back? Jesus doing the wink and the thumbs up. Some more of these bunny faces with sunglasses. It's interesting that so many of them are selling. I wonder if it's something that I'm just missing, right? Also, the gray shirt specifically, the slate gray seems to be popular. Happy Easter bruh with the dabbing Easter bunny. Another Easter bunny, monster truck. If you sell the monster truck stuff, guys, I know it's obvious, but make sure you check the youth checkbox. Make it available in the youth size, since I'm assuming that's going to be primarily who wears it. Next one, I said hip hop, the hibby to the hip hop. so kind of playing on the rap lyrics right there, the song lyrics. Next one says Eggosaurus instead of Stegosaurus. Got Easter eggs going around its spine. One of like Jesus, kind of like photorealistic there. As I guess if we could guess what he looked like with the crown of thorns. So more of the religious side there. Next is the Easter bunny, monster truck. Dabbing with the Easter basket. It's got everything, checked every box. The gnomes are cross-niched with every big niche. Okay, you can go back to the well with gnomes for literally all the biggest calendar niches, so don't hesitate to do that. More Happy Easter. Next one, Jesus, YOLO, JK, BRB. Next one, a bunny probably made with AI, chewing bubble gum, blowing a bubble. That was actually uploaded in 2025, okay? So just showing you that people are able to be successful with designs uploaded this year. And plus the organic Amazon algorithm, even if you don't run ads, does like to cycle in new submissions and give them a chance to be seen and see if they can compete. Amazon doesn't want their catalog to get stale. If you guys shop on Amazon, you've seen this, okay? If you've been selling long enough, you know this as well. Next one says, Jesus loves you. We love each other because he loved us first. 1 John 4:19. So again, plenty of ideas for the religious side as well. If that's your thing, you've probably got a million ideas too. I mean, these are the best sellers, guys. There's plenty of the religious, like scripture-based ones that we're not seeing because they're not generating as many sales. The ones that we are seeing, every shirt we just looked at had a BSR under 100,000 already. When we're not even near peak demand, these are only going to become more popular. So that's what I used to do. And I knew that not all my submissions were going to sell. My goal was to get, a sale on maybe, 20%, 25%, 30% of what I uploaded, and then have a few best sellers among that group. To me, that would have been a huge success. And then after Easter passes, because I'm in the lower tiers, I can delete my designs, especially the ones that didn't sell, but then I usually try not to delete ones that did sell, but the ones that didn't sell, I'm deleting and I'm making room and I'm moving on to the next thing. Probably looking at, Cinco de Mayo, Mother's Day, etc. So guys, I hope you found that video helpful. I mean, this is what I did for years, okay? And it worked. So to think that it doesn't work today in 2025, let me know. I mean, what's your rationale behind that? This is where the demand already is. And according to Google Trends, we can easily project it to double as we get closer to Easter. So there's plenty of time. Get your designs uploaded and go lock in sales, and good luck with your tier ups.